Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Financing Freedom channel. Today, we're going to jump into our November into December trades analysis, see what trades we've taken throughout November, how much cash we've made, and why we took these trades. So let's start with Fidelity. Now, November 13th, we did have a Ford call, which we sold at the 11.82 strike price for December 20th. This made us $14.32. We currently only hold 100 shares of Ford at this time, but are looking to acquire more this month, as you'll find out. Now, we had a Western Union call that we'd sold several months ago. That expired, as did a Pfizer call that we were holding. So we resold our Pfizer call for $26 on December 20th, or at the $26 strike price, I should say, and made $35.32. Then our big trade for the month, Ford, we sold puts at the 11.82 strike price for December 20th. Now we sold 11 contracts here, hoping to acquire 1,100 shares potentially at 71 cents. This gave us $773.53 in premium. And this made our buy-in price $11.11, which on this day Ford was trading at $11.40. So quite the discount. And we'll kind of dive into this a little bit more in a moment. But this is a trade where we're a little more aggressive, kind of hoping to get assigned on Ford for some reasons I'll discuss in a minute. And we also sold Western Union. We sold 2 contracts, $12 strike price calls for February 21st of 2025. Western Union's a company I like for the dividends. However, this isn't a company I would just dive into, put a bunch of money in. But this is one that I currently hold, am looking to unload in the future. But for right now, the dividends are nice, and we're selling distant calls on it. So it's working out for us. We did also roll that Pfizer call. Pfizer kind of had a bounce, and we increased our call strike price from $26 to $27. We repurchased it for $75.68, turned around and sold it for $93.32. So made a little bit of premium there in that transition. And then we were also paid $45.18 in interest on our account, which we hold $13,516 in cash. So not too bad in interest. Now, Ford, kind of my hot topic here. Jumping into the chart, this is Ford on the day we bought in. Price then was $11.40. Where do I think Ford's going? Well, Ford is going to go for this giant gap right here. Now, as we head into the end of the year, Ford is kind of trending downwards, but at the end of the year, they pay out their special dividend, which might be kind of nice, right? The speculations, this comes out of their free cash flow at the end of the year, and this could be anywhere from 19 cents to 39 cents per share, just based upon previous averages and what they do. So if we're assigned these 1,100 shares or 100 shares per contract at 11 contracts, right? 1,100 shares. This might make us $209 in special dividends at the lowest potential price target here. Or if we see them pay out that 39 cents per share, that would be ideal. Probably won't happen, but it would be ideal. We would make $429 on that special dividend just from holding these shares. Plus, their traditional dividend is 15 cents per share. So on that 1,100 shares, it would be $165. Could be some pretty sweet returns there. And we're also expecting this price to appreciate, right? We're coming back here to this zone. We're going to fill this gap. When will this happen? I don't exactly know. No one knows, right? But we expect it to be in the somewhat near future because Ford is just, we're playing sideways, up and down, pretty much in this zone. We did have a fair value gap here at 1074, but that's been filled. So I expect us to continue up. We could retrace though down here to this $11 zone. This would not be surprising. $11.04 would be the middle of this fair value gap zone generated off of this daily candle here. This will likely fill. We could come down to this $11 zone and then bounce and make our move from there. And I guess looking at Ford, I just realized today we're at that $11.04. So could come down, fill this gap, and then bounce from there up towards this zone. So I'm bullish on Ford overall. I know the market is kind of like, they've had some warranty issues, but they're increasing their profits, their cash flow, their free cash flow is good. I'm just bullish on Ford in the future. So I feel confident in this move. And it's a little aggressive, but again, I kind of want a sign here. So we're going to sell these puts at more aggressive price, $11.82, this line here. But I want a sign. If I don't get a sign, I'm happy with my $773 premium that I earned. But I'm also hoping for assignment. Hopefully the price is close to that on assignment. So we'll see how it plays out. Then jumping into Charles Schwab for the month of November. Our big trade here, we sold some $15 puts on American Airlines, 5 of them to be more specific. Returned 68 cents per share on this contract, returning us $336.68 overall. Pretty excited about that. Now, American Airlines, we did have some calls that we had sold previously. Both of these entry prices were for $11. So sold this call for $11.50 and this call for $12. On that, we made a $50 profit, capital gains here on this contract, and we made a $1 per share gain here. So on 100 shares, we made $100 for those $12 contract as well. Now, American Airlines, $15 puts for 12/20 or December 20th expiration. Let's look at that chart. This was American Airlines on the day we made this trade, and it doesn't look bad. $14.64. $15 might be a little bit aggressive. We do have some gaps. We have this little gap here at $14.50. We expect that to probably come in and be filled. Potentially another gap here, $13.42. If we retrace to this zone, it would be a little bit disappointing, especially if we're buying at $15. However, short-term market sentiment is bullish for the airline industry. And we do also have our 200 moving average here at $12.57. So that would be some support. But we're in a big uptrend. Looking at the big picture for American Airlines, we do have some unfilled gaps at $17.75 and $18.35. So general market sentiment being bullish, unfilled gaps up there. We could move higher. I don't really worry selling these $15 puts on American Airlines. We got some nice premium for it, and I think we're going to continue to move upwards. Remember, the trend is your friend, if you will, and we're going to continue moving upwards for a while, I think. And as you can see today, American Airlines, $14.69. So moving upwards, looks like we probably, let's see. Looks like we came in, filled this gap perfectly, and now we're going to continue to move up. Now, Seeking Alpha does continue to support a strong buy rating on their quant rating. Again, I don't put a lot of weight into this necessarily, but I use it to reaffirm my theories and where we're going. This uses multiple factors to kind of anticipate the market sentiment for a stock. Historically has served Seeking Alpha quite well. So strong buy rating there. I feel good on that. It makes me feel good on the general market sentiment and where I'm going with this trade. Now, overall for the month, Fidelity, we returned $924.64 or 4.54% return on our capital overall. In Fidelity, we had that Pfizer call that we initially sold. Then we also rolled it for a little bit of profit. We had 2 Western Union calls, the Ford put, and interest. And that's what returned that $924.64. Over here on Charles Schwab, we have an account value of $10,521.20, returned $487.42. This was calculated off of those calls that were assigned that we'd sold for profit. One of those were both being purchased at $11, one being sold for $50 of profit, the other $100 in profit. So $150 total. We did gain 74 cents in interest there, and then $336.68 in premium, returning that $487 and giving us a 4.63% return on that investment. Overall, we have $30,884 in our portfolio, and that has returned us $1,412 this month, or a 4.57% return just in the month of November. Pretty exciting. overall, since essentially May, this is where this is calculated from, we've returned $5,600 or 3.7% monthly. That's an exciting number because 3.7% over the course of 12 months, if we can continue that, pretty exciting returns on the market. With that, that is our November trade review. We will see how these trades play out, most of these expiration dates being December 20th. So we will come back after the 20th, see how all of these trades played out, and see if we were able to keep this capital, I guess, if you will, keep those returns and if they were viable or worthwhile. So thank you for joining me today on this episode of our monthly trade analysis. And please like and subscribe. Continue watching for further trades and investment ideas.